Welcome to Hannity, and this is a Fox News alert. Panama City Beach, Florida is taking major steps tonight in order to end the chaos and the crime that has plagued the city during spring break. The city council has now voted to ban alcohol on the beach and try to stop all of this out-of-control behavior. Now, following a 2-year Hannity investigation into what really happens when your kids jet off to spring break, we discovered, in fact, it was not all fun in the sun. This year alone, the partying scene was wrought with debauchery, widespread drug abuse, gang rapes, and even multiple attempted murders. So, in response, finally, the city council, the Panama City Beach Council, voted unanimously last night to ban alcohol on the beach during the month of March next year. That's the height of spring break, and that's not all. The city council also voted to end all booze sales after 2 a.m. and passed a measure prohibiting drinking in commercial parking lots. So the question is, will these new common sense measures curtail the very dangerous spring break situation that Panama City Beach has been experiencing? Here from Panama City Beach, Florida, is their Councilman Keith Curry is with us. Also, Attorney Wes Pittman, and from Citizens for a New Panama City Beach, Darrell Sellers. Welcome all. Councilman, I'll start with you. Tell us about this change and how you got to this point.
Well, Sean, this has just been my second year as an elected official having to deal with spring break. So that spring break's been going on for a long time, but I'm glad to see that the rest of the council, came on board and instituted some of these measures that, we should have implemented last year.
Yeah, but you weren't on board immediately.
No, sir.
So what changed your mind? I mean, we have 7 people that, in fact, were shot in one night. Then we have, I believe, one on video of a gang rape in broad daylight on the beach. Yes. And then apparently there was another gang rape in broad daylight on the beach. Is that what changed your mind?
No, what changed my mind was the first week when I was out riding with my officers this year. I saw that the changes that we implemented last year were not working. That's why I brought it up at a Thursday night council meeting before the shooting to try to get some people on board. It didn't happen. Called an emergency meeting the following Saturday morning, tried to get some people on board. It didn't happen. Finally, with the efforts of all of Panama City Beach, it looks like we finally changed some hearts and souls, and we're going in the right direction now.
This may end, let me go to Wes Pittman here for a second. Wes, this may end spring break for Panama City Beach. I would imagine after this year, you got to be pretty comfortable with that.
Sean, not really. It's not going to end it. The experience of other cities like Fort Lauderdale and Daytona, where they banned drinking some years ago, was that there was a lull for a little while and then they rebounded, and they're doing better than they ever were and don't want the alcohol sales again. They have spring breakers, but it's a better quality of spring breaker, and they're spending more money. They're going to the chic restaurants and the chic shops and the great restaurants, and they're being good citizens.
Yeah. All right, Darrell, I understand you and fellow Panama City Beach residents, you all showed up in your T-shirts last night. It was the end of a 3-hour meeting. And I guess there was a celebratory outcry at the end of the vote. Explain.
Yeah. Yes, sir, there was. We went into that meeting really wanting to change, and I've been at this longer than you have, Mr. Hannity, and not much longer. I was this lone wolf out there talking about the people that I was crazy. I live on the beach 1.5 miles from where all the chaos happens. It's not just there. But when we heard that news, it was along, the end of, hopefully the end of a long fight.
If that gang rape video doesn't do it for every resident of Panama City Beach, I don't know what will. We have the video here. Obviously, we have to blur out portions of it. In the middle of broad daylight, people all around, right in the middle of the beach. I mean, it's unbelievable. Let me ask you this as a resident. Some people apparently are still angry with me and angry with the show and angry with Ainsley. What's the feeling among city residents now?
I think there's a mixed reaction, because you have those who think that they just don't want the negative publicity. But they also, I think, if you can show what a great city Panama City Beach is, I think they will thank you for it. And we all will welcome the change that you've helped bring about.
Listen, I'll go down to Panama City Beach anytime. I've been there. It's a beautiful place. So
it is, Sean.
But these
and
kids
thank
need
you
to
for
be
doing
safe.
what you did.
What's that?
They do, and thank you for doing what you did, because if you and other media had not called attention to the problem, we might still be in the same situation that we were in the last 2 years. I think you've done a great service to the community.
I don't want these kids getting hurt. We see what's happening.
Nor do we.
Yeah. All right, guys, good to see you. By the way,
Thanks.
joining us now, We have Gavin McGinnis is with us, author of Death of Cool, the co-host of Fox and Friends First. She's been down there 2 years in a row. Ainsley Earhart is with us. We took a lot of heat. We got a lot of ridicule. Let's remind people of what we took when we started our coverage.
Yes! America's oldest hall monitor, Sean Hannity, dedicated not one, not two, but 5 different shows on the horrors of spring break, including the entire hour on Friday, featuring a panel of outrage experts there to expose this annual event. You will believe what they found, because you know.
Drinking, drugs, risky behavior, sometimes with tragic results.
Shortly after filming that piece, that young woman blew out her left butt cheek. Some of the more skeptical viewers might think this is less of a news story and more of a reason to spend a week running wildly inappropriate TNA footage alongside pundits tisking said footage. But you'd only be 99.9% right.
Well, of course, he's a sanctimonious jackass. He hasn't commented since the 7 people were shot, the 2 gang rapes in broad daylight, which happened after our coverage this year. As a matter of fact, the Friday night when we finished our coverage, that was the night 7 people got shot.
Yeah, we finished the coverage, and when the 7 people were shot, that's when City Council really took a closer look at this, and then the sheriff released that video of someone being gang raped in the middle of the day on the beach with people around, and it was so obvious that what's going on down there needs to stop. And
You've been there now 2 years in a row. Do you think this is enough? Does this do it, or are they just going to pregame and drink before they go to the beach?
You know what? I'm just so proud of City Council for at least taking a stand and listening to the residents, because when we were there last year, the residents, many of them were divided. When we were there this year, so many people came up to me and said, thank you so much. Tell Sean, thank you for covering this, because we need to see changes.
But everywhere on the beach, you smell pot. Everywhere you went.
Oh, yeah. People are getting gang raped in the middle of the day. So if we save one person's life, one person from having to go through that,
in 40 minutes, how many arrests did you cover?
Oh, there were so many more arrests this year than there were last year, and that was obvious in the few hours that we spent with the cops doing the ride-along at night. We saw Molly, we saw heroin, we saw marijuana. They told us that guns were a problem, and then the 7 people were shot. And
then all these people that would come from outside the area to prey on those kids, which was part of this. You really, Gavin, you're controversial. You're also funny, but this wasn't funny to you. The coverage, the mocking, that really got to you. Why?
It was infuriating because it was evidence of the left's hypocrisy. They don't really care. Like Jon Stewart says there, you will believe your eyes. Your eyes weren't down there. Hannity went down there. This show changed the law and will prevent future rapes. Yeah. That's all you have to do. And the law enforcement told us, this is just one little tweak, like no drinking on the beach, and the whole rape culture will end.
I think most parents understand at spring break the kids are going to drink, maybe smoke cigarettes, maybe even some pot. I don't think they understand a culture that is there to prey on them. I don't think they understand the level of consumption. I don't think they understand how many people really are there to harm your children.
That's what we kept screaming. We kept saying, this isn't about partying, this isn't about spring break. This is unique. Past 3 years are unique. And by the way, it wasn't just 2 gang rapes.
I was a bartender at 17. I understand how kids are.
Yes, this isn't anti-partying, it's anti-rape. It was rape culture. It was the college definition that Rolling Stone was trying to find, that Mattress Girl is screaming about. We found it and we stopped it. And the conservatives, once again, leave women better off than these college feminists.
And it's going to prevent one big party there on the beach. If you go behind these 2 major clubs, they're right next door to each other. Right behind them is the beach.
And I don't want to put those guys out of business. I'm not looking to do that.
I know, of course not. And they'll do fine at night. Listen, the cover charge is $60 to $70 to get in one of these clubs.
A lot of money.
Yeah, so not to worry. They're doing just fine.
They're doing all right?
Yeah, but the beaches behind those 2 clubs, that's where all this video was taken. It is a huge amount of people. I would say thousands of people, Sean, shoulder to shoulder, people getting gang raped, and they're so drunk, the people around them, they don't even know what's happening to their friends.
You told me, too, that you would see girls passed out on the beach, and then guys would go up and
whipping them with the funnels,
taking pictures.
Well, you couldn't describe half the stuff you saw because you couldn't say it on television.
No, so many girls too. last year when we went, a few girls were flashing our cameras. This year, so many girls were doing it. They had no idea who we were with, where we were going to air this video. They did not care.
By the way, Ainsley, to her credit, she was being the hall monitor.
I just feel so sorry for these girls.
But you told them, stop, don't do this.
I know.
You're
I
gonna
said, you know
regret
what, when you're 40 and your kids watch this video, you're going to be embarrassed.
That means you have a heart, and you were proven right, too. So thank you guys for being with us.